Quick shout out to my Patreons who keep this channel going. You can join my Patreon down in the description below. What's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Today we're interacting to the 8th episode of Symphogear. This one's titled No Shadows in the Sunlight. I mean, there are shadows, it's just you don't necessarily see them, I suppose, but whatever. Glad to be back into it. I'm hoping to ramp up episodes of this so that we can finish off by the end of the season. Now that Jobless has finished, we can get 2 episodes in next Monday, so at the very least, if we don't sneak in another episode this week, we will be getting a double episode on the 29th, so look forward to that. That'll be episodes, 9 and 10. And I've been told that the finale of this show can get very, very interesting to the point where it flows very nicely together, so if I can, maybe we'll get to all of them together. I would say, since Kimono Hand also finishes on the 29th, in theory I could do back-to-back-to-back Symphogear, 11, 12, 13, for the 5th, but I believe the season has, the next season already starts by then, so I wouldn't necessarily have the time to do that, so I'm hoping that sometime next week after the 29th, I can fit it in around there. There should be some more empty spots that I can fill, so again, I want to complete this before the beginning of the next season, so that we can go into the next season. If we do get requested to continue on with Season 2 of this, I would like to actually do that. So we'll see what the plan is, but for certain, double episode next week. Anyway, last time out, I think this is the point where Chris... I think we've now set up enough where Chris can come over to our side, I guess. I don't think Chris is a throwaway character. I think Chris? Not quite. I think Chris is going to be a recurring character for a while, so... Since she's been discarded by Fine, it seems very likely that she will retreat away, and since she is still a gear candidate and has clearly shown herself to be competent with it, I don't see any reason why they wouldn't try and utilize that Division 2 in that case, so I guess we'll see what ends up happening with that. But yeah, there's a lot going on, so thank you everyone for the corrections the last time, because there's a lot going on, and I almost feel like... I can't tell if there was an error in the subtitles, but I think that's where... Or maybe I just mixed something up in the subtitles, but I could have sworn that 2 of the relics were mentioned as 2 years ago, but maybe I was misreading one of them, but... Yes, so, let me make sure I've definitely got it right this time, because I want to be correct, because it gets annoying if you guys have to keep repeating the same answers over and over and over again. So, let me just go back down to this. I had this open a minute ago. I don't know why I didn't keep it open. So yeah, Ichiban. That was the first relic to disappear, right about when they were beginning the research of them, about 10 years ago. And then Nurshtan went missing in the concert disaster 2 years ago, because they were experimenting on Nurshtan, trying to activate it. That went wrong. Then it disappeared. So those 2 relics are out of the question. Except we now see what's going on with them. But Ichiban is actually a gear, which is interesting because if that was gone right from the very beginning of relic research, then what's her face? What's her name? Creepy bitch who has an obsession with Hibiki. Ryoko. I don't know why I call her creepy bitch. She's not that creepy, but she has an obsession. I presume at that point, right at the very beginning of the research, Ichiban would not have been turned into a Symphogear. So how the hell is it a Symphogear? Right? Like, yeah. How did that... Like, if it was 10 years ago, were they already making Symphogears 10 years ago? If so... It doesn't seem likely. So how did she get a Symphogear out of Ichiban? Like, using a fully completed relic makes sense, because it's a completed relic, you can just use it from that point, as long as you understand them, and Fine obviously understands them. But knew about, obviously knows about gears, knew about finding a gear candidate, which apparently was, looking back on episode 1, apparently was hinted at. Apparently Chris was in like a missing girl thing in the newspaper or something, which is nice foreshadowing and a very nice little detail. So yeah, looking for a candidate for it. I assume, well, was Chris the first candidate for it? Probably not. Let's be real. What are the chances are that there were people before Chris that Fine probably experimented with. I don't think Chris is the first character that Fine has used and discarded in her journey towards this. I don't think so, anyway. Maybe we'll expand upon that this season, who knows. Speaking of expanding upon this season, though, Ryoko has... She drops a lot of weird information that I'm not going to remember anytime soon. I'll make a note of it and try and remember certain words and certain phrases, but I don't know how relevant they are right now, or if they're going to be relevant later on in Symphogear. Like, I'm going to keep an eye on them, see if they show back up, but I feel like there's a lot there. I don't know how long they planned Symphogear right from the beginning here. If they planned it to be like the 5-season thing that it is right now, maybe even a 6th season coming, I don't know. But I'll keep an eye out for those words and those phrases where possible. But yeah, it's getting crazy. But I think this is where Chris now becomes a more permanent member of our side, probably. And then from there, well, we still got Miku and Hibiki to solve, don't we? Because we need to fix them, really. I don't... Because, like, here's the thing. Is Miku going to be, like, a recurring thing throughout the entirety of Symphogear? That's what I'm kind of curious about. Like, I assume so. I think Miku is being a little unreasonable right now. I think she feels betrayed, but... And rightfully so, Hibiki did lie to her, but it's a national secret. She couldn't say anything. So I think Miku is overreacting slightly, but I can understand why she's overreacting. Because here's the thing, when characters overreact, of course they're not going to be logical, hence why it's called an overreaction. So, you know, it is what it is, but yeah, I think we've still got to solve that. Then we've got to figure out where Chris slots into all this. Tsubasa is getting better, and she's not quite 100%, but she's getting there. She's capable enough to at least help out right now, and is wanting to help Hibiki and be helped by Hibiki, so their relationship's getting a bit better as well. It's kind of funny, Hibiki and Miku's relationship deteriorated. The more that deteriorated, the more Hibiki and Tsubasa's relationship strengthened. It's kind of an interesting... just an interesting coincidence, I think. I don't think it was... The fact that that one was diminishing, that one was improving, it was just a case of they just happened to be going on completely opposite directions in that sense. So, just kind of interesting. But yeah, I guess we'll see what this episode has to offer. So, loading it up. As per usual, these are time-based format actions here on YouTube. If you want to see full picture-in-picture, you can go to my Patreon down in the description below. £4 a month gets you access to all picture-in-picture actions I do on the channel, which is everything from this season and future seasons, certain backdated shows, Patreon request shows, such as this. Movies and such will be on there. Hopefully tomorrow will be Wolf Children the movie. We'll see how that turns out though. If not, it'll end up being on Thursday. But yeah, here on YouTube we have to do time based. So bottom left of the screen you'll see a time for the episode. I count down 3 to 1 play. Then play start the episode, I start the episode, and we'll be in sync. We are watching this one on Crunchyroll since that's where I can legally view it here in the UK. Links to that is in the description as per usual. No logos or anything to start. We're just going to fade into the episode. You can use screen flash on my face or the mic to tell when it's transitioning. Pay attention to this part here. This is very reflective and can actually help you sync up very, very nicely. It's how I sync up my picture-in-picture stuff, for example. So, with all that said, and a lengthy intro over, let's get into this week's episode, shall we? In 3, 2, 1, play. It's raining. Yep. Don't tell me she's gonna put it down, is she? There's Chris running away. Oh, is she going to stumble into Chris? Is that how this starts? Oh, it is. Okay. And OP time, alright. Alright. No shadows in the sunlight. Alright. Block 6. Oh, this is where we're going to find Chris. Mm. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Okay, Hibiki on standby. No Miku, okay. Hmm. Of course. I don't think she wants things to be like this either, really. You know, she's taking care of Chris. Hmm. A lot of markings. Well, I mean, it would be rude to, right? Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. I don't know if it's necessarily small. Small to other people, but in the moment, it's probably one of the biggest things that could affect you. Mm. Mm-hmm. Hmm. Mm. Rough childhood. It's a very direct approach, but uh, hmm. 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 Oh boy. It's never been here. Doesn't understand that. Did Miku chase after her? You mean because of you? I guess the noise are chasing after her. Here they come. Was that him? It was, wasn't it? Yep. You know, we ever gonna explain why he's so fucking powerful? Like, Jesus Christ. Here we go. I do like Chris's music style, I must admit. And her fighting style as well. Hmm. Fucking dual Gatling guns. uh, Again, her. The only thing I have a complaint about is how hard to read her things are. Once again. Hmm. Poor kitty. Holy shit. It's gonna be Miku. Oh shit. Good recovery. Good recovery. Oh, lovely design. Mm-hmm. You don't get to see any of this until much later, probably. Distracting. Diversion. There we go. Get a full transformation sequence for her as well. Good. Explain the plan, okay. Hmm. I like I like the song lyrics for this moment. If Hibiki has anything to say about it. Oh, good hit. Now catch her. There you go. That was nice. Ah, okay. Yeah. Oh boy. Haruka, how you doing? Way too late. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. What are you gonna do about Chris, huh? And why do you have a bit of a backstory with Chris? I guess the fact that she went missing 2 years ago? Alright. Miku Hibiki problem? Solved. That's good. They didn't drag it out too long, which was nice. And they left it the perfect length to where it's like an issue and they can explore it, and now we can move on. Now we need to figure out what we're doing with Chris. And then whatever the hell Fine's up to. Alright. That's it. Good episode. Another very, very good episode. God, Symphogear is so good. Like, how is it this good? God damn, I've been missing out, apparently. Yeah, it was a good episode. Very, very good episode. So yeah, Miku and Chris getting connected. Chris seems to have a backstory with Genjiro. I'm going to assume that's probably... He was probably interacting with her at some point. I mean, if she was a gear candidate, I'm assuming he had to be somewhat familiar with her. So I'm guessing... If I remember what you guys have said, and what that article said, she was... After everything that happened, she was in, like, South America or whatever. Right, I believe? South America? I think it was somewhere around there. And she was being brought back to Japan as a potential gear candidate. I assume Genjiro was probably partly responsible for this in some way. Who knows? But upon arriving back, or like either on her way back or once she got back, she disappeared again. I can't remember. I'd have to go back to the newspaper articles. If anyone has a quick timestamp in episode 1 where that roughly was, so I can go back, or if you just want to tell me anything specifically that article mentioned, because I know some of you mentioned it last episode, but anything super specific on that, please let me know, because I feel like Genjiro and her have a bit more of a history than they're kind of letting on. I don't know if that's actually important to worry about or not. It just feels like there is more to unpack there. But again, this is Symphogear. There's probably a lot to unpack in a lot of things, let's be honest. But yeah, Miku and Hibiki now made up. Everything's vaguely back to normal. Vaguely, obviously. So now we move on to whatever... Well, technically, I guess we move on to the final arc of this season, right? So I suppose that will be figuring out what to do with Chris and what she wants to do, because she doesn't really have anywhere to go right now, so I'm sure Division 2, specifically Genjiro, is going to try and help her out there. And also they just want... they probably want Ichiban back under their control, probably, because yeah, she still has that. So they probably want to sort that out. Yeah, we do that. And then I guess we start thinking about what the hell we're going to do about Fine. How are we going to deal with her? What do we do there? She seems to have some backing by, I'm going to guess, the US. I think it's the US that she's being backed by. They might have even explicitly stated it at some point. I can't remember the phone calls, but yeah, basically, she's got to have outside interference, and she's doing it for somebody. I wonder... I mean, the other nations, like Europe and America, obviously want in because, as they've said before, Ryoko officially is the only person who knows about Symphogears and the technology behind that and everything there to combat the noise. Now, it's obvious that Fine has knowledge of relics and how to utilize Symphogear, since she presumably gave Chris Ichiban. I'm surprised she let Chris keep Ichiban, although there might be something more complicated there as to the reason why she couldn't just take Ichiban from her. There's probably something a bit more complicated there to explore. Yeah, I mean, it's just her negligence in not making sure she finished off Chris, I suppose, more than anything. But Fine has her goals. Ryoko is super fucking obsessed with Hibiki. Like, super obsessed, like, creepily so. But again, that makes sense, right? Ryoko very much seems like almost like the crazy scientist type, just with charisma. Like, more charisma and more people skills than you normally expect from those types of characters. And Hibiki is like a prime research candidate for the effects that relics can have, like, embedded into the body and such, right? So it makes sense for it to be so obsessed just on that basis. But then all the other stuff she mentioned, Lord knows where she's going with that, but she clearly is deeper into relics and their history and everything about them, way deeper than anyone else is. I wonder if anyone else really has that level of knowledge except maybe Fine. Like, who else would have that much knowledge? maybe certain people in Division 2 that will like assist her on stuff, maybe. But I think even then she probably keeps a lot of it to herself. But something's up with her. We know that just because she had the bloody briefcase that one guy was meant to have. What was he? He was in government. I forget what he was. Like, was he Minister of Defense? Yeah, Minister of Defense. Somehow she just managed to recover it. No real mention of it beyond that. Again, the blood on the briefcase, and then we had the lipstick on the cup, and I don't quite know what the symbolism of that was meant to be, if it was meant to be a reference to the fact that there was blood on the briefcase, or what. Just seemed like an odd choice in that moment. So I guess we'll see if that ever comes back up. But I'm excited to see now where we're going from here. Next episode is called Protector's Song. I guess that could be a Hibiki title, just because she wants to protect, and that would be her Protector's Song. So maybe it's a reference to Hibiki. I guess we'll see. Yeah, glad they've made up, and now we can move on with whatever we end up going with. So that's going to do it for today, guys. Thank you for watching. Hope you enjoyed the ones as much as I did. Leave a like if you did, as well as your comments what you thought of the episode. So leave that out from below. Also, tell me what Chris's move name was, if that was one that we got from last episode, or if it was a different one. Because the one criticism I have of Symphogear Season 1 so far is that those names for moves are very difficult to read, especially Chris's. I haven't read a single one of Chris's. I think I got Death in one of her last moves, and that was it. So that's my one complaint of Season 1, but I think you guys said that Season 2, those get easier to read, maybe? What would be awesome is if they actually said the move in the song. That'd be a bit extra effort, or if they just said the move in voiceover, because then it would be subtitled and it'd be very easy to read for Western audiences, but who knows. Either way, I'm sure it'll improve once we get further in. I mean, this is Season 1, and you guys have said it improves every season, so we'll see. But don't forget to subscribe to see next week's episode, which will be double episode. We'll be doing episodes 9 and 10 next time out, and then hopefully catching up a bit quicker now that a lot of other shows are finalizing this week, and we'll have a lot of empty space the week after. So thank you for watching. Until next time, see you guys later.